guitar. Hey, who knows? Who knows? Yeah. What's the name of his sound system again? Oh,
Rap Attack.
Thank you, Rap Attack. Yeah, man. So that's gonna be brilliant. Absolutely superb.
And we have Phil, our partner. Phil from the Playground. Phil Correa from the Playground, our partner in Sounds of Latter. Hello, Phil.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll be talking to him in just a few minutes' time.
Oh, we love his dulcet tones, man. Wicked. Absolutely wicked. Auntie Isis is in the house.
Yes, of course.
as well.
I was
Hello,
just doing
darling.
a service for Portobello Radio, making
Well
sure our
done.
lovely special guest Ricky Belgrave knows where we are.
Yeah, man. Wicked. Absolutely wicked. Well
welcome
done.
everybody to
And
the
Gracie's
show.
just
It's
tipped up
Carl.
as well, so everybody's in the house. Love that. Ooh.
Yeah, it's Carnival. We have to start with a bit of soca, don't we, Isis?
every time you wiggle. Darling, you put me in trouble. You torture me the way you whine. I love to see your fat behind.
Local radio for local people.
Darling, I don't want to lose you. Honey, like you give me voodoo. Give away me land, give away me car, but let no man touch my sugar. boom, boom, or three. Oh, boy.
Yes, and welcome everybody to Portobello Radio, coming live and direct from the Muse Gallery. My name is Piers Thompson.
Yes, indeed, and you've got Greg Weir at the ones and twos, and
You've got ISIS
Yeah,
at the end of the table.
Wicked.
we have a
absolutely wicked.
jam-packed show, and as ever, we are available on YouTube.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Hello, YouTube. Yay!
Via Muse Film, just put in...
Portobello Radio.
Yeah.
Normally search that up and you'll come up because it's the only live stream called Portobello Radio.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody who watches us on
Yeah.
a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Almost more
From
people
all across the globe.
Yeah, man, welcome aboard.
We have a jam-packed show today.
We do, man. Carnival
We've got-
weekend is upon us.
We got the
It's,
director of Carnival, Matthew Phillip, coming in.
Yeah,
we
man.
have Ricky from Bass.
Yay!
The director of
Bass.
Bass.
Come on.
British Association of Sound System.
Yes, STEM.
I'm not even a fisherman either. And right in front of us, in the studio, we have Phil Correa
Yay.
Hello.
from the Playground Theatre.
So, double
Phil.
bubble. I love it.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on Carnival weekend. Happy Carnival, everybody.
Yay.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Last time we were in the same room was obviously as part of the Sounds of Latimer. We did that very successful community play reading with the Playground Theatre, Portobello Radio and Bramley Housing Co-op.
That's right.
There was a brilliant, I mean the play was great, but there was a brilliant little interaction at the end where some of the original Frestonians came down and chatted about their real life experiences. One of them even told you where you got the play wrong.
That's right. Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful experience. Frestonia is a topic that's very close to my heart. I've done a huge amount of work on it and research on it. I love the idea and the political ideals behind it. It's kind of right up my street. And I was completely moved and excited to have met some of the real Frestonians. As you say, they took no time at all to tell me exactly what I'd done wrong. But they were also very understanding. They said, look, I understand why you did that. You know, that you've got to make some things different. And actually, I was doing it for quite a political reason. Their bone of contention was that I said that there wasn't a blue plaque to celebrate Frestonia. And they said, well, actually, there is a mural. Which is true.
That's true.
But I wanted to make the point that we don't celebrate that kind of thing enough.
Frestonia, which was, as most of you will know, 1977, a bunch of people...
I want to know before...
Can I just explain about Frestonia a second? Frestonia was a bunch of squatters who declared UDI, independence from the UK. It was basically a housing protest. And interestingly, from the Sounds of Latimer, we did a lot of things about the history. Frestonia is something that really seems to connect with people in the here and now.
I'm not surprised. It's almost the perfect story in terms of looking at what we deal with today: a housing crisis, an oil crisis. People forced to extreme measures in terms of getting a home and having to cope with rising costs, inflation, national strikes. I mean, it's basically today again.
It's rewind.
But also, the thing about Frestonia is it shows you that how more inequitable we've become and how more difficult it is, because
you can't even squat anymore.
But exactly, back in the day, many of us did squat. Many of us had spent times, and Frestonia is a classic example. You know, there was a way to deal with the housing crisis back then. Yet now, all these, instead of going forward, now we're in a situation where unhoused people literally have no options.
That's right.
So it
But
really
break into empty,
we're not.
empty
we don't-
offices, empty shops.
Views of the contributors are theirs and
empty
theirs alone,
pubs.
and do not represent the views
But
of
I
the organisation.
want to ask you though, what was the average age of the Frestonian, what would you call them, the ex-Frestonians who came along?
I think they were mostly quite a young crowd, to be honest. From all the photos, Tony Sleep's beautiful
No, I
monochrome
meant now.
photography, you can see like
How
young
old they
people.
are? How old are
Oh,
they
I see.
now? Yeah.
I see. I don't know, Piers, what would
Well,
you say?
I would say there are two groups. There were the kids who remember it as like 5-year-olds running around either in Frestonia or in the houses that they moved into, and then there was the
With some original
more
occupants
elderly
who had set the
who
thing
would
up
have
in
been the
first place.
adults at the time. So it was kind of split either way.
So we're saying people in their 70s, 60s, that sort
I
of
would
age group.
say, you
I
could
wouldn't make a
even
guess.
No.
I'm very polite, man.
They all looked very young though. They all looked very
So what
young.
they were doing worked. Squatting worked.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Great squatting story, actually. Sade, just before she went to her first appearance on Top of the Pops, the car pulled up, big chauffeur, outside, Top of the Pops at the time, huge hit show, and she was squatting at the time and just had to go to the toilet in a bucket before she went to Top of the Pops.
Amazing.
Great squatting story.
How do you know such a story? How do you know such a story?
It's a cheap
But
because I heard it on a program about squatting.
Ah, brilliant. Absolutely
Great
brilliant.
story.
But you see, squatting was celebrated at one point as well. Just what the story you told about Sade, and there's so many people that squatted now. If you were to think about that, you'd be like a pariah. You'd be like, oh, these terrible. The like scroungers, and the horrible labels they've got now for everyone. And
they did
so
then as well. It was a revolutionary act.
Most of the great pop stars of the 70s and 80s came out of squatting.
Exactly.
However, the playground does not stand still.
It doesn't.
For Estonia, we've done that. It was great. You've got something coming up next week.
That's right, yeah, so next Thursday.
Another community play reading?
A huge community play reading. Right. 31st of August, Thursday at 7 o'clock. There is free food for everybody who comes from 6 o'clock.
And this is at the playground itself?
It's at the Playground Theatre, which is on Latimer Road. 6 o'clock. If you've got a ticket, and the tickets are free, we suggest a donation to some charities. But if you come along with a free ticket, you can have a free dinner with the rest of the community and all of the actors that we've got. We've got Hollywood's Martha Plimpton, acting legend. She was in The Goonies. She did an incredible film with Jason Isaacs a couple of years ago. She's just done As You Like It in the West End. She's leading the company. We've got, who haven't we got? We've got Mark Elliott, we've got Sayan Saba, and we've got incredible people from LGBTQ communities, loads of female actors. We've got the lead from the forthcoming Tennessee Williams at the playground.
You might be intimidating everyone, Phil, because just tell people how a community play reading works, because it was watching it when we did it together at the Harrow Club was quite an eye-opener. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so we invite our local community members to come along and read aloud, and we do that every week in a very safe, comfortable setting. It's something called Well Read, where people can just come along and read a play together, sharing it aloud. It builds confidence, it reduces isolation. But with the Well Read Live, these big community play readings, we get professional actors to come along, and the professional actors just, I suppose, tentpole the reading a little bit. They just give it a little bit of structure, and those actors are there to help the community members along. We also, though, throw the kitchen sink in. So we've got free music that pops up. We've got free poetry. That's all like little pop-up surprise performances. We've got the free dinner beforehand, and then afterwards we have a panel discussion all about the themes of the play. We've got. Sorry, go on.
The themes are.
And the themes are. Estelle Griswold, the play is called Griswold, she fought and got herself arrested in her 60s, in her 60s. She got herself arrested in the US to fight for female rights, like abortion rights, contraception rights, and the landmark and now very relevant case, Griswold versus Connecticut. That case actually led to other social liberties like gay marriage, for example, being allowed years later. It was all down to the legal work that happened on that case. And this incredible activist, this woman...
Did it presage Roe versus Wade? Did it...
Exactly that.
It led to that?
Exactly that. So with Roe versus Wade being revoked recently, with the right to abortion, for example, being revoked in many states, we feel like this is a perfect time to be doing this brand new play. The play is written by Angela J. Davis. It's an incredible writer. It's garnered loads of awards.
Did she write Greensboro?
No, that was Emily Mann, another fantastic female American playwright. But this is
I've heard of her. Sorry, I'm not a theatrical person. But
no, it's all I wouldn't expect you to know. Yes. But yeah, Angela's fantastic, and she's going to appear on the night as well. We've got panelists. Renee Brannan's going to do the panel. We've got Martha Plimpton, because she is representing A is For, which is an abortion charity. We've got a representative from the LGBTQ Community Centre, and Angela herself, as I say, is going to live stream in from the States, from LA, to give us her time as well. So it should be a really exciting night.
It sounds brilliant.
Everybody who comes can donate to 3 charities. We've got 3, one abortion charity and 2 LGBTQ charities, but all the tickets and food are free. So the idea is that the whole thing is for the benefit of the very subject matter that we're celebrating.
Pay what you can, like Nourish down the road.
Exactly that.
It sounds brilliant, Phil. How do people get involved? I mean, I remember when we've done stuff together, you try and get the members of the community to come early and to get allotted parts.
Exactly that. Just come and talk to us at 6 o'clock at the playground and I'll help you get involved. Everybody who comes, doesn't matter if you're reading or not, gets a script. The scripts are all highlighted with whatever your part is, and that could be that you're part of a chorus or you're just there to do a bit of singing, or maybe you've got a few lines, or it's all highlighted and really easy. And we also have people, professional actors on hand that you can hand your script to if it becomes a little bit overwhelming. We've got a quiet area for those people who are neurodiverse. We also have BSL sign language interpretation, so that if you are hearing impaired, you can come along and still enjoy the show just as much as anybody else.
Wow, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's wheelchair access friendly. It's open to everybody, and it's incredibly diverse and exciting as well. We've got Intermission Youth Theatre coming down here, an amazing local organisation. They're going to play a few of the parts as well. Lots of young people with loads of energy and loads of incredible talent. So there'll be lots of reasons to come down, meet other community members, meet Hollywood actors, have a bit of free dinner. What's not to like?
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And if people want to bone up on those details, where would they go?
If you go to the Playground's website, which is theplaygroundtheatre.org.uk, all of the information's on the What's On under Griswold, which is the little poster is pink with white writing, Griswold. Go onto the website, give us a call at box office, drop in if you'd like.
Instagram and Twitter and stuff
like that. We've got all of that. I think it's W10 Playground Theatre off the top of my head, I think it's at the Playground Theatre for Insta. And you can email me at wellread@theplaygroundtheatre.org.uk and I will sort you out.
Yeah, we urge you to get involved, because the one we mentioned briefly, Greensboro, which happened sometime around March, multiple people heard about it on this show and went on down, and it's really fulfilling. I mean, you may only get to say 5 lines, but you feel part of a big thing, and I love the amount of organisation you've put into it. To get PSL and everything going, it's a
big old event, but this time we're really lucky because Kensington and Chelsea Festival are supporting us with this financially, and we've got a partner theatre in New York called Playhouse Creatures, and Playhouse Creatures support us on this as well, and in return what we do is we stream the whole thing. It's live streamed to America with a full film company called Chocolate Films who come down, so there's microphones and a few cameras. They're all quite sort of subtly out the way so that people don't feel intimidated. But what's exciting about that is an audience in New York and LA and wherever else can tune in and watch the community play reading as it happens, and so our community in North Kensington expands into New York and beyond. It's a really lovely exchange.
Hands across the border. We love it. Phil, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Have a brilliant carnival, everybody.
Yeah. Wicked. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Playgroundtheatre.org.uk.
Hey, brilliant.
One of the things I did this week is, as many of you know, Dave Hucker, one of our DJs, died recently. He used to run a system on the corner of Goldball Muse and Portobello Road called Latin Street Jam.
Yeah, brilliant system. Fantastic.
Tom Vague organised the walk. Tom Vague, our local historian, organised the walk, and we went from the Prince Albert, where the Chartists didn't actually meet, just the leader of the Chartists, that proto.
And where's the Prince Albert?
That is
the one up at Notting Hill Gate.
Yeah.
Ah, all right. The original Bell End.
That's right.
Yes.
And we went on to the Pig and Whistle eventually. Dave ran the Latin Street Jam. This song's for you, Dave.
Wicked. And I'm sure it's going to be there again this year.
It is there.
Yeah,
they're all
man.
sorted. Kim, this song goes out to you as well.
Brilliant.
Kim is waiting for you guys to come and ask for Dave's leads on Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah, man, definitely. And are they still on the Portobello Road up beyond Goulburn?
They're still at Goulburn Muse.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's been a year and 9 months out on the road. It's been a pleasure, but now I'm going home. Saying goodbye to the world. I wanna be with my girl, taking out time for her and I alone. Now I like company every now and then. Not in the mood to party. I'm heading in, closing the door to the world. I want to be with my girl. That's when the time for her and I will begin. My girl makes me happy all the time. When I'm with her, I have peace of mind. When we spend time alone, I never want to leave home. Wrapped in my arms, that girl of mine, you're fine. Now I don't have a new car to ride her in. I can just barely afford flowers to send. Said she don't need a rich man, likes me the way that I am. My baby only wants time to spend. I'm taking time for my baby. You know that I will. And don't be maybe here and now in each other's arms. Way down in my soul, all is calm. Been gone a long time. I'm staying home. Just gonna be you and me, the two of us alone. I'm feeling alright and doing just fine. I'm never gonna leave you, girl of mine. Don't have a new car to ride her in. Just barely afford flowers to send. She says she don't need a rich man. My baby just wants, she wants some time to spend.
Yeah, that is Kevin Davis, Iban Caribe. And that's going out to Kim and to Dave Hucker. We miss you. First Carnival without you, Dave. But Carnival goes on, and we have with us Ricky Belgrave. Ricky, hi.
Hiya, good afternoon. Carnival Friday's here already.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're
yes.
all ready.
Landed.
Now you have two hats every carnival because you run Rap Attack, or you're one of the guys behind Rap Attack, the original sound system, and you also run BASS, which is the British Association of Sound Systems. And this is a special year because this is the 50th anniversary of the introduction of the sound system to the Notting Hill Carnival.
It most certainly is, and so we're looking forward to a very special year. And the history of this is, just so it's very clear to your listeners, sound systems have always been a part of Carnival, the stationary sound systems, quite simply because the first two sound systems in the UK, Duke Vin and Count Suckle, were both based in Ladbroke Grove.
Of course.
So when Carnival started, they put their speakers, their equipment out on the road. So it weren't about being official discipline, but they participated from the beginning. However, in 1973, a very, how can you say, a gentleman with great foresight.
Yeah.
Yes, big
Leslie
shout
Palmer.
out
So
to
I'm going to big
Uncle
up Leslie
yes.
over the radio. So
Indeed,
he's listening.
He is listening in.
That's good.
He is listening in. He's just texted me.
Invited the sound systems officially to join Notting Hill Carnival, and a part of that reason was twofold. One was it was the sound of the young people. The young people was in.
Yeah.
So if the young people are into something, it should be a part of the carnival, particularly if it's a Caribbean tradition like sound system is. And unlike the other four disciplines in carnival, the mobile sound systems, masks and costumes, calypso singers and steel bands, the so-called calypso artists, all of the other disciplines are steeped from the Trinidadian carnival that was the model for the sort of carnival in the UK. However, the sound systems were a Jamaican tradition going back to 1948. So Duke Vin, who started the first sound system in Ladbroke Grove, was the selector on Tom the Great Sebastian sound system in 1950 in Jamaica. So basically, it's a case of not just someone migrating to the UK as a part of the diaspora and obviously looking to improve your life and opportunities for your children and yourself. It was also about doing what you're used to doing back home. So it shows you that with migration, transfer of culture, and look at the effect that culture has then had on the UK. Because sound systems arrived in 56, arrived officially at the Notting Hill Carnival in 73, and they're a massive thing at Carnival
I would also say, and I've said it before, but Notting Hill Carnival didn't become Notting Hill Carnival until 73 when the sound systems came in. Because before that, because before that it was very much a Trinidad kind of carnival that had been imported. But actually, the young people, our generation, whatever else, they were the ones bringing the sound system. That's what made it the carnival it is now in Notting Hill. I think without it, I mean, it would be. There's something about the sound systems, and I'm saying this is a Trini.
Yeah.
So I recognise the importance, and also it really was a symbol of unity between all of us, regardless of where our ancestry came from.
I would also add one other point into that mix. If you think about the largest single Caribbean community that are here in the UK, it's Jamaican.
It's only because you're bigger than us.
No. It's a fact in terms of numbers. So I would look at it that we would want to be contributing, and obviously my heritage, Italian and Jamaican my father, who was a sound system owner back in Jamaica. We would want to be contributing our culture in the Caribbean to the carnival as well. So I think, and
it's an evolution as well, isn't it? Because
evolution.
when we all came here, we came separately. I was a Trini and a St. Lucian, a St. But once you get here, you're Caribbean. You're African Caribbean, or you're just Caribbean. And so it doesn't matter. All those divisions about which island you came from weren't so relevant as the unity you had. You grew up together. You shared culture. You shared language. All of that stuff.
So from my point of view, it was a contribution for the largest single community. It was perpetuating an art form, a tradition that had come from Jamaica. And obviously the UK Carnival is going to be unique and distinctly different from the Trinidadian Carnival because we're here in the UK.
Yeah.
So where it's a part of Trinidadian culture, the government's behind it, etc., we had to fight to have our carnival here, which anybody knows the history of carnival.
Still fighting now.
Still fighting now. So from my point of view, and I'm a proper carnivalist, I absolutely love the mask and costume, the steel band, the mobile DJs, the clips. I was at the tent last night. So for me, all of the disciplines...
big shout out to my artist, Alexander the Great, Calypso, Soca Monarch, 2023.
You won. And so for me, the whole of the carnival and its 5 artistic disciplines is what makes carnival not only special but creates the magic as well. You know?
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no doubt about that. I mean, it really worked though, didn't it? When Leslie brought the systems in to bring young people into carnival, because as you said, it had these kind of slightly weird beginnings as part Rowan Laslett wanting to amuse the kids, part something for the Trinidadian
it was
people
also
too.
so because the young people weren't. In those days we didn't have soca, and so it hadn't been created yet. We were still in between calypso and rapso, and so for young people they were looking for that, and they were toasting. I mean, it was literally regardless of where you were from, they were drawn towards that whole sound system culture. So I think it was inevitable.
It was quite funny because when I was growing up, even the people that they were Jamaican. It was a big thing and this was all about the sound system culture. And even if you wasn't,
and also Rasta.
people thought of People thought of you
as Jamaican.
So I think that whole ethos of sound system in the Caribbean and here, and also it was something that was going on all year round because the community were then, picking our parents' time through to even when I was a young man, were excluded from going to a lot of places. So when you're excluded, what do? You create your own scene.
Yeah.
Interesting, I was listening to the conversation early on the show about how many of the major rock artists in the 70s started off as squatters. It wouldn't surprise you that a lot of the early sound system parties happened in squats.
Of course.
For exactly that same reason.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what's more, that system went at around the same time that Leslie was bringing it into Carnival. That system, that idea was going through New York and creating hip hop, because Kool Herc, of course, came from Jamaican heritage, and he was the one who had those parties up in the Bronx, and people got toasting like they do in Jamaica, and hip hop.
If you think about it, right, rapping and toasting is effectively the same thing. You're rhyming in time over either a drum beat or a drum and bass.
Yeah.
So
even that scatting, is it scatting that they called it from back from the night?
Yeah, scatting.
What
Cab Calloway was doing.
all of that
would be
stuff, exactly. That was how the trajectory really.
But I think the key point he's making, though, is that Kool Herc was a Jamaican sound system owner. He moved to America. When he tried to play reggae there, it wasn't as big, obviously, there as Jamaica. So it was like the locals were into like the heavier funk. So he started playing that and then noticed that the dancers danced more crazy when he got to the break. So it hit him like, and Jamaica would understand this. What do they toast over in Jamaica? They turn the record over and Joe toast on the version. So think of the version being the break.
Yeah.
Then you recognise, there
Make
you go.
your own break,
the dancers dance harder on the breaks. If you then started doing a set, paying more breaks, the dancers would dance crazy for longer. Hence break dancing.
Yep.
Yeah.
B-boys.
B-boys. No, it all comes from the same place,
beautiful.
which is
I like that.
what
Beautifully
Duke Reid, Prince Buster,
I think he knows his stuff.
Oh, no, not at all. I loved it. Excellent journey.
Who was here in 1973? Do we know which systems were there in the first official system?
Well, 1973, some of obviously the big sounds of that time, Bertram the Wasp, Paddy and Terror. You would have had, obviously, Sir Coxsone would have been started by then in the 70s. I Spy, earlier sound systems. So there would have been a lot of the original sort of sound systems that were around that later they obviously got bigger sort of known and stuff. They would have all have been starting, particularly the ones in the area, and obviously Duke Vin and Count Suckle would have been big at that time. So a lot of the early kind of sound system pioneers, I think they paved the way for the later sounds. And also sound system culture didn't stay static. So where it started off with in 56, obviously that was before the ska and the reggae was invented. But once the ska and the reggae came, and obviously Duke Vin was instrumental in promoting that, then developed in there. By the 70s, the late 70s, you then had the advent of the soul sound system, the TWJs, your Mastermind, and every new music form that becomes popular with young people is represented in Carnival. I was actually asked on BBC Radio London on Wednesday.
When did rappers? Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was asked this question: what's going to be the big sound of this year at Carnival? Simple, Afrobeat. Whatever the young people are listening to, it's going to be played at the Notting Hill Carnival. It's just as simple as that.
When did you start with your sound system? When did Rap Attack
I joined Rap Attack in the mid 90s. Right. However, I've actually been a DJ since I was a 14-year-old boy and a sound system owner since I was 16, 1981. So it's something that goes back a very long time for me. In fact, I met the guy that started Rap Attack when he was a rapper on the Mastermind sound system before he was a DJ, and I was already DJing then.
Yeah, and that's my very early memories of Carnival is Mastermind and then Rap Attack. Mastermind used to be in those kind of cages underneath the Westway, didn't they?
A bit later, they originally started in that little alcove by Ladbroke Grove Station, where now the Sainsbury's local is the Iron Bar. Used to be.
Iron Bar, of course,
Right.
yes.
And they used to play with another sound called TWJ some years, and the two of them used to be like the whole vibe about the soul and funk thing. And it was absolutely electric. So I heard Mastermind TWJ in 1979 for the first time, and they were the sound, particularly Mastermind, who mixed, that inspired me to become a DJ and buy PA equipment 2 years later. So it shows you a small boy, right, who grew up on the council estates in Islington and Battersea, hearing a sound system that was doing something different at Carnival, was inspired, and then many years later ended up playing at Carnival and becoming a chair of that association.
And what I want to know is that how divided were you, like, between playing like reggae and the soul and the funk stuff that, you know, like Rap Attack's been known for?
Obviously, being part Jamaican, we was raised with the reggae, but I also, my family, particularly my mother's side, Italian side, they were massive soul fans. Stevie Wonder, the Stylistics, Marvin Gaye. So it was always there. I always liked music, including both. So it wasn't about either or; it was about all. And I've still got a large reggae collection.
Mix and blend.
There you go. And Rap Attack still plays reggae as well. It's not like we don't play reggae, but obviously our thing is soul.
You did a brilliant set at the 50th was it 50th or 60th anniversary of Mangrove?
Yeah,
a few years ago.
Yeah, a lot of people still remember that.
That was a banging set.
We done well there. It was a beautiful day, and it was very interesting. The Mangrove 50th happened without any police. It was stewarded completely by the community with no issues.
No problems whatsoever.
Before you go, Ricky, we've got some quick fire questions.
Fire away.
Which is, what is the greatest Carnival tune ever?
In my opinion, I would actually be very biased here, given I'm a Rap Attack DJ. I'd have to say, for me, Lisa, I Wonder If I Take You Home.
Right. Which year would that have been?
It came out in 1985.
Right.
But it's still. I will still be playing that at Carnival.
A young ting back then.
young, maybe 20.
And
it's made him laugh.
What's your best Carnival memory?
My best Carnival memory, I think hearing what I just explained, hearing Mastermind for the first time, where you had a sound system that were playing soul and funk music that was as heavy as a reggae sound, completely clear, using PA equipment, not homemade equipment, transistorized amplifiers, but then mixing music live. And it was like, how is that done? And I had to learn. So I think that was probably my big Carnival memory. But I think outside of that, in terms of the inspiration, my other thing I think was probably my best Carnival, I think 1987, because he was right in the middle of the master mixing and the rare groove era. So that time is before I was DJing at Carnival, and I happened to be by Rap Attack. I think that was one of the best years at Carnival, you know?
I want to know what you're looking forward to the most this year. Because you've been at Carnival forever now. I mean, you know.
Thank you, Isis. You made me sound older than the pyramids need.
He's a young-looking man. He's a very young
been around
man.
from before fire was invented and the Dead Sea Scrolls were written. So thank you very much. But no, I'm totally comfortable with my age. And you know what? With age comes experience, knowledge, and that is certainly needed to actually keep our Carnival going, to keep it integral to how it should be and keep its spirit. So I'm cool.
But what are you looking forward to the most though this year? That's my question.
I'm looking forward to a peaceful Carnival. I'm looking forward to everybody coming along, bringing their party self, and I'm looking for an extra special atmosphere, and it's going to happen by all of the stationary sound systems, because people don't realize this. We're the only Carnival in the world where static sound systems, stationary sound systems, an official discipline, which means when you come to Notting Hill Carnival, you're coming to the greatest sound system display and performance in the world. The greatest show on earth.
Of course you are. Just another thing that makes up the greatest show on earth. What will you eat?
Me, I'm a massive fan of obviously our food. it will be impossible to go for carnival without having some jerk chicken.
Right.
I actually love that. I love
Roti and
roti
doubles,
as well. I love
Roti and
roti as
doubles,
well.
boy, come
So
on.
there you go. I love roti because the truth is my stepfather was Trinidadian. So we grew up with roti. So for me, it's a roti, some jerk
You
chicken.
want jerk chicken and roti.
And roti. And also some curried mutton because I actually love the curried mutton as well. So
Poor
for me-
little sheep.
For me, right, by the end of carnival, I've definitely overeaten. So there's a confession live on radio.
And last question, what time will you be here on Sunday morning?
That is going to be a very interesting answer. Because I actually coordinate all the barrier order for my members. So basically, by scale of economy thinking, you're saving everybody money.
Yeah.
And if each member ordered their own barriers, they've got a delivery charge, a collection charge each. So doing one big order is clever. Also, your barriers and barriering your speakers, your control area, and particularly if you have a generator, is a part of your health and safety. So actually coordinating it, meeting our barrier contractor at 6 in the morning on the corner of Lancaster Road and Labrook Grove and going round to
That'll be-
develop my
Listen,
That's yours, Joubert.
Ricky might be the big boss, but he's hands-on on the ground.
hands on the ground.
You
So
gotta be.
I'll be leaving to go with my barrier contractor to actually deliver the barriers with them to make sure A, my members get their barriers. Secondly, that they got the right amount of barriers. We also order extra, just in case they need a few more, to make sure that cannot foul in terms of us meeting our health and safety. Because, as I'm sure you can appreciate, the things that we have to meet as sound systems have become increasingly stringent over the years.
More and more.
More and more. And health and safety for Carnival is paramount.
Yeah.
And something I have to say, our members are actually very much signed up on, and they're very experienced and knowledgeable about. So another misconception that's, we don't just think about coming here to play our music.
What, on Friday night?
We think about the safety of the people there, because for a sound system to operate and do what we do and create
It's
a
got to
live
be
vibe that's
organised.
electric,
It's got to be professional. Come on.
you've got to be safe. We don't want to have our crowd in any problem. We don't want our equipment damaged. So for us, a safe carnival is of paramount importance.
Yeah, of course. And that goes for all of us. Ricky, thanks so much for coming in. Let's hope it's the greatest carnival ever.
Let's hope so.
Nearly always is.
And for all the Rap Attack fans, I should hopefully be playing towards the end of that. I say hopefully because sometimes my responsibility as an organiser impacts. But hopefully towards between 4 and 7 on Carnival Sunday and Monday, I should be playing my
You'll
set
be
on
on
Rap
the
Attack.
decks.
I'll be on the decks.
And where is Rap Attack?
Rap Attack's located on All Saints Road between McGregor Road and Lancaster Road. You just can't miss us. There's
on
only
the
us
front line.
on the front line. Only us and People Sound are on All Saints Road. So once you get to All Saints Road, you can't miss.
Yeah.
So if you want big people music, All
go.
Saint Road.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's Carnival.
It's Friday night and I feel alright. The party's here on the west side, so I reach for my 40 and I turn it up. Designated driver, take the keys to my truck. Hit the shawl cause I'm faded. Honey's in the streets, say money, yo, we made it. It feels so good in my hood tonight. The summertime skirts and the guys ain't canine. All the gangbangers forgot about the drive-by. You gotta get your groove on before you go get paid. So tip up your cup and throw your hands up and let me hear the party say, I'm kinda buzzed and it's all because this is how we do it. South Central does it like nobody does. This is how we do it. To all my neighbors, you got much flavor. This is how we do it. Let's flip the track, bring the old school back. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. All hands are in the air and wave from here to there. If you're an OG Mac or a wannabe player, you see the hood's been good to me ever since I was a lowercase G. But now I'm a big G. The girls see I got the money, $100 bills, y'all. If you were from where I'm from, then you would know that I gotta get mine in a big black truck. You can get yours in a 6-4. Whatever it is, the party's underway. So tip up your cup and throw your hands up and let me hear the party say. 1994. Montel made no money and life show was slow. And all they said was 6'8" he stood. And people thought the music that he made was good. They lived the DJ and Paul was his name. He came up to money, this is what he said. You and OG are gonna make some cash. Sell 1 million records and we're making the dash. Oh, I'm buzzing the club. This is how we do it. South Central does it like nobody does. This is how we do it. To all my neighbors, you got much flavor. This is how we do it. I'll never come whack on an old school track. This is how we do it. I'm kind of buzzed, so because this is how we do it. South Central does it like nobody does. Nobody does. Oh, it's party time. Straight up coming from the west side. This is how we do it. Oh, she's got the flavor, yeah. This is how we do it. And money does it like nobody does. Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah, Montel Jordan, this is how we do it over on the west side, which that's kind of the way we think about it at Carnival.
Yeah, this is how we do it. No volume for me.
Yo, Montel, this Percy, man, the barber. Yo, barber. Man,
yeah, I hope you have all been to the barber this week, because we were earlier this week, Grace, Deborah, that's Pandiva and myself, we all went to Mo Better Cuts because Ray and nephew were having some kind of do there. We're not usually invited on PR jaunts on Portobello Radio, but we, on this occasion, went along. It was brilliant. Ray and nephew, obviously, is Jamaica's overproof.
Absolutely.
67% rum.
Wow, nice.
And they were giving away free haircuts. They were giving away rum punch. They
And
were doing your nails.
Yeah.
It was all trims and tings to get ready for Carnival.
Wicked.
And we very much enjoyed ourselves. And, of course, Grace, who many of you will know, is our new reporter. Grace did a few more interviews. You'll have heard last week some of the interviews she did at the Notting Hill Carnival Pioneer.
Carnival Pioneers. Yeah,
so,
there you go. That's a little touch of it.
As you can tell, I've just found the one we're going to play.
Yeah, man.
This
Brilliant.
is Grace's most recent foray into interviewing, out and about, part of Pandiva's Stories of Notting Hill, and this is Grace meeting Rodney.
Rodney from Mo Better Cuts. Love it. Brilliant.
Trotters.
Hi, I'm Grace Desai Israel, new reporter for Portobello Radio, and I'm here with
Trotters from Mo Better Cuts.
Hey, just want to ask why you're here today.
Well, I'm here with Trims and Tings. We're collaborating with Ray and Nephew to bring some free haircuts and nails artistry to the community.
That's good. Can you tell me a little bit more about Trims and Tings, please?
Right, Trims and Tings is all about preparation for Carnival. Free haircuts, free nail do's, the vibes with Saxon sound. Just come down and have a nice time.
All right, cool. What's your favourite moment of Carnival?
My favourite moments is making money through the Carnival, through sales, and enjoying myself, drinking, dancing, listening to the good tunes, just vibing.
That's good. And last not least, what's your favourite reggae artist?
Right now, Chronix is the guy.
Okay, thank you very much and have a great evening.
Yeah, but that was Portobello Radio goes to Mo Better Cuts for trims and things, and we'd like to thank Ray and Nephew for the goodie box.
Did you get a goodie box, you lot? Wow, brilliant. Absolutely
We got
brilliant.
whistles, we got pomegranate juice.
Amazing. And you got a snifter.
Yeah.
Of the old Ray and Nephew.
We
Love
got
it.
a snifter of the old
Love it.
Ray
Brilliant.
and Nephew.
Brilliant. Marvellous effort.
The other big news at Portobello Radio this week, of course, is that two of our presenters got married.
Yay! True that. True that.
Shay Mary Doyle married Rosalind Scanlon on Wednesday afternoon.
Thank God it wasn't me and Madam Zarvis who got married. I mean, that would have just been really weird.
No, they got
and
married
completely like
on
abnormal.
Wednesday. We were at
Can we
Chelsea.
have some volume for Madam Zarvis, please?
Yeah.
Can we congratulate?
Yes!
And don't slam the microphone down.
Congratulations. That was quick.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yes, congratulate Shay and Raz. Wicked, absolutely wicked. We had such a hoolie. It was great fun. Chelsea Town Hall to begin with at the beginning of the day.
All the best get married at Chelsea Town
Don't
Hall.
they? I've always seen it all going off outside, but I've never had the pleasure of being inside or being part of the
I got married at
photograph.
Chelsea Town Hall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Being part of the photograph on the steps.
Then
out the
we
front.
went for a lovely meal. Then it was on to the Irish Cultural Centre for a
knees up.
knees up,
man.
fantastic knees up. Some, the band, what are they called, Sessionistas were playing.
Yeah, the Sessionists. Brilliant.
Many of the people who've been on Brightside the Road were there. Anyway, thank you, Ros and Shay, for having us.
Yes, and indeed putting on an absolutely fantastic bash, and
But I
congratulations.
think they're an absolutely beautiful couple.
Yeah, man, they are
Absolutely
terrific couple.
beautiful.
Yeah, man, yeah.
I'm really pleased to hear
A
that.
beautiful couple, and we'd like to wish them well. And we particularly enjoyed the Fields of Athen Riot.
Oh, did I miss that?
You did.
OMG, that's one of my
you
favourite all-time shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so gross, man.
Yeah, okay, like these certain things are not even supposed to happen on camera.
Anything you're just so abusive.
OMG.
That's on camera. I'm gonna.
I know. I just
rerun
said
it.
certain things are not supposed to.
We're just gonna rerun it on Instagram in a minute.
Well, it's gone out live. You can't even. Greggsy can't even edit it out. He can't even edit it out, man.
It's gone out live. Wolf, what was that?
Listen, I've just got to tell you.
Madam Zarvis.
Listen, I've just brought supplies, that's all. But I have to say, what's happened to Soca? I always thought Mr. Crazy was the top tune of Carnival.
Mr.
No, he's not called Mr. Crazy, darling. He's crazy.
Oh, crazy.
Because in Trinidad, he's just crazy. No,
Oh, we just
none of
love
that
crazy.
American
Oh,
Mr.
he's
Crazy
so-
thing.
But he was
Anyway,
our
we'd
hit.
like to introduce Madam Zarvis.
We've got big royalty in the
Yeah.
house.
Massive.
Big
Not only
royalty
that,
in the house.
She brings ginseng gift, which is great.
And some of
Really great.
us misuse it, others don't.
Yes, indeed.
Can you misuse ginseng?
I wonder. Madam
Well, no,
Zarvis, can you?
I don't know that you can, actually,
No.
except that you're not meant to take it when you're ill.
Oh.
Or
Oh, that's
out of
interesting.
hospital. You have to get healed first, and it's mostly used when you're
Will
well.
you
So
get
hang on, Madam
healed?
Zarvis, can you clarify? So if you're like going down with something, you shouldn't take ginseng to kind of boost you? No.
No.
Oh, okay,
no,
that's
from what I
interesting.
understand, and not after operations and things. Not generally.
Interesting.
You have to let your body.
I didn't know that. I always assumed it was a kind of a pick me up as well. So obviously I'm
No,
completely
you
wrong.
have to pick me up when you're well or
Righty-ho.
well-ish, I think. Because the body has to deal with it, and there are no supplements for that except your immune system, which are 7 glands, and you guys, I'll have to lecture about that later on.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm
But
looking
what
forward to
about-
talking about 7
we
glands.
love Mr. Crazy. Oh, crazy. I was in Mass in Carnival. I was invited to be in Mass.
Brilliant.
And it was wonderful. And my godson, Abbe Ford, did the music, right? And the
Whoa.
DJing on the and he
Sorry, what are we talking about right
dragons. I'm talking about dragons when I was in Mass. I mean, every year
Right.
for 18 years, I was working on Carnival with Whitty Ford.
now? This carnival.
This Carnival, yes. Finishing
You know, Madam
costumes.
Zarvis has been around the houses.
No,
You
I know,
realise
I
that,
know.
don't you?
Finishing costumes for 10 days before the event for kids and grown-ups, mostly the kids. Getting them ready for the judging point on the Sundays, because the mums didn't do it. Now they do it, but I did it for about 6-7 years, but they're very picky. You can't touch their kids, but they had to look good, and they knew were going up on stage. And then I did the adults on the Monday. Well, the adults were drunk even before we started off on Carnival. I would have thought we were dressing them at 9 o'clock, and I had to take care of them sort of 2 hours in. And after a while, they kept looking for me. Where was I? Even when I was in Mass.
You
they
do
kept
realise,
saying,
Madam
"Can you
Zarvis,
fix my costume."
You realise drunkenness is part of the carnival.
Yeah, no, but they wouldn't give me very much rum.
And licentiousness.
I had to beg.
It's funny you should say that, though, because we've all, though we don't look old enough, we've all been to a few carnivals between us, and it was talking to Ricky, him talking about seeing Mastermind for the first time. Basically, to me, carnivals essentially sound systems till about 5 years ago. It's only when we started looking into the history of Camberley and Trinidad and the original carnival that I understood Mass and I understood the characters were like panto characters. But up till then, You know, I've pushed floats down Westbourne Park Road, but only so they'd get out of my way so I could get over the road to the sound
Piers, I
system.
can't believe what a renegade you are. It's just such a shame.
He's just so reactionary. It's just so
God.
reactionary. It's just
We're going to have to replace you
I'm down
soon.
there with the youth. I'll be outside the Afrobeat systems this weekend.
I reckon you will be, mate. I
don't know, but in Portobello Road, there was this guy that'd pull out his 2 big speakers and he'd stand there from Friday afternoon till Monday hosting. And I had to ask somebody what he's doing, and he goes, "Oh, he's hosting. He's hosting for the weekend, And that was before I was asked to help in Carnival, and I was helped Whitty because he assisted Rufus with the black theater companies, and I think we should go over that at another time because we established the 2 first black companies in England, and it's very little history known. So we're going to get Whitty Ford down here to tell us his story.
You are going to have Whitty Ford. Who is Whitty Ford?
Whitty Ford is an amazing guy.
Whitty?
He's so talented.
Whitty?
Whitty from the Tabernacle. He used to do all the sounds at the Tabernacle. Lovely, beautiful Whitty.
He's a brilliant technician.
One of her
for
brilliant.
lights. He used to do lights in the theater.
You guys started in theater.
But he was an actor. He was an actor, and
Whitty
he
was
was
an
in Rastafari at the Keskety Center with Roy, his assistant at the Tabernacle.
In fact, he's actually...
And they were brilliant.
What, Roy with the hat?
Roy.
Yeah.
Yes, Roy with the hat. And Whitty was actually in the...
Rastafari.
The one with the...
Five Nights?
Ragamuffin, the Ragamuffin thing. I saw a clip. And he was actually one of the actors in one of the productions of it.
I don't know the Ragamuffin, but I know that 9 Nights was brilliant, and it was T-Bone Wilson in that because I was up there for rehearsals on it.
Yeah, he was really.
And 9 Nights was, I think, Jimmy Rampelli, wasn't it? And they were doing the slow motion, playing bowls and going
To
through
me,
their memory.
I have to say,
dream space.
I've worked with Whitty for a long time on the Portobello Panto, and I've really enjoyed working with him, but he struck me. He and Wood struck me as kind of grumpy old timers. I didn't realise.
Maybe he just didn't like you.
No.
No one likes me.
Whitty knows what he's doing.
Whitty was always lovely with me when I've worked with him.
Shame on you, Piers.
Shame on you.
I hope he's not listening right now. I've got a
Unfortunately, we played
VIP
that song
spot
last week.
in the bleachers because we're going to all meet up there. So I'm quite happy. I got a telephone call, not from Portobello Radio, of course.
Oh,
No,
have they dissed you, Madam Zarvis? Have they dissed you?
Well, I mean, I found it quite shocking.
We can't offer you VIP-ness.
We were too busy being in the
I don't know what to do. I
standard.
don't want to get up and walk out. I have so much fun here. I've been reading The Sun today. I've been reading The Sun.
No, why?
Yes,
That's
because
dreadful.
I don't know. For my horoscope, I got so desperate.
That's really
Should we play a tune?
But
Are you tempted by VIP-ness? Is that what it is, Madam
I
Zarvis?
got to get off the VIP-ness because you guys are going to get nasty about it because you're so
right.
jealous. I've got to stand up.
Unfortunately, we're just
I'm
being
just so
pulled off
sorry.
air. We're being
Now, wait,
pulled off air.
Can I just finish what I read in The Sun today?
Madam Zarvis, shall we play a song?
Yes.
Yes, okay, then I get to tell you
Well,
about my
I think there's a good
what
message
made me
for all
so
of us.
furious.
Let's go.
I go drink water and mind my business. Mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. Mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. Who me? I don't watch people, man. I looking for house and land. Who me? I don't watch people things. I's a queen. I
That, of course, was oops.
So, do you want to hear about Trump or not? Or do you want to hear about, okay, would you like to hear about Rufus Wainwright?
Well, maybe I just want to drink water and mind my business.
Do you not want to hear about the folkocracy?
Okay, there are a number of choices.
Folkocracy.
What's going on?
They're creating a class system in folk music.
Okay, but do we want to talk about Trump being indicted first, or the class system in folk music?
Do you
I don't
know,
know.
we're not going to talk about. We're not going to.
Madam Jarvis wants to talk about Trump.
Okay.
I know, but it's not Madam Jarvis's show.
Well, she's coming to take it over.
Trump's out. We love him, but he's out. Okay, he has to come in next week after he's out of jail. Okay.
So are we inviting Trump to Portobello Radio?
I read in the Sun. Oh yes, I wish he would
tell
come.
us what you read in the Sun. And then
I read in the Sun about
to
Rufus Wainwright being like, one of the top, performers and singing with somebody I can't even remember.
Yeah, he is quite
was the
top.
best thing in his life, and he's the top of the folkocracy. Well, I mean, why do they want folk music? Is the voice of the people, all people.
I know,
same
it's just
level.
what it said in the Sun.
It's the English using the term folkocracy now classifies. We have classes in folk music.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about
so you
folk
live
music.
in a class system which I just cannot abide by.
Madam
Now they
Jarvis,
want to apply it to folk
to,
music.
what we do want to talk to you about, because Matthew's just arrived to tell us all about Carnival, so we're going to talk to Matthew in a second, having played a quick track. Tell us about the entrance to the arcade. What is going on
the colour
to
thing, that
with
nonsense
the
about the colour.
entrance to the arcade?
Well, I mean, we're rather... okay, the entrance of the arcade, they were going to tear it up. They just put it down, they're going to tear it up. They're
But
going
why are they going to tear it up?
Because the stands have put little holes in it.
Right.
And we said, no, please don't bother it. Just put in the lights, put in the bollards, and widen.
So, sorry, we jumped too far into the
Okay.
story there. There's been an issue with the arcade
Yeah.
that people can't see it to get in.
Yeah, after 20, 30 years, I think, I can't remember.
Yeah, and so have they moved the stalls in front of the arcade so people can go along the second controversy, which is the rainbow into the arcade?
Yeah, well, I know they wanted to put a rainbow, and I said, well, rainbows were last year. Can we just have maybe one color? But they did a kind of swirly pattern.
But first question: have they moved the stalls?
They got the stalls moved after we complained that they still were hedging onto, and the problem was that they shouldn't be on the walkway. They're digging it in. We don't want it to be torn up. And we would like them to proceed with putting lights along there and the bollards to keep, because that's the only entrance that we have to Portobello Road, and we really need the footfall for that small unit. We do have some really good traders. We used to have some really good artists, and we used to have a book restorer, and then we used to have some people that made, invitations by hand, printed by hand. And they've gone from artists to just retail now, but there are still some lovely shops and people that are willing to see you. But I don't mind the colors. I think it would have been nice to be all red, like a red carpet, or the Yellow Brick Road, anything.
Fantastic.
But I don't know why they dug up the bricks.
Have we got a tune?
Yes, we do.
Yellow
Let's
Brick
go.
Road.
We're about to talk to Matthew, who's just come
actually,
up from his...
I was lucky enough to go and see. I suppose I should review it. Crazy at the Calypsonian, not Mr. Crazy, the Calypsonian at Holland Park last week, and he was absolutely fantastic. I was lucky enough to play Juve with him in 1984 when I was a kid in Trinidad, teenager, and it was amazing. And actually, the Engine Room, which is a band that our next guest was drumming with, and he's a fantastic drummer, were playing, and they were fantastic. So I thought I'd play this track.
Beautiful.
When you ready, rhythm and the iron and the man where the Congo drum. It's a vibes in the section when we jam into the steel bun. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get so sweet that I can't describe. So all the artists, you must be here, cause without an engine, can't start, so we cannot drive. No oxygen tank, we got dipsy dive. So we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down, think we got to unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back. They go come run me down when you see them. Get this song when you're ready. Ready when the iron and the man ready, come go down. It's a vibe in the session when we jam into the steel pan. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on wassy. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. Hey, I'm telling you now, if we could just put aside we pride and let Jaja be we guide, then love will be the prize and no one will feel a type of way. You could get radiator and battery, new transmission from the factory. You can do whatever you want but without an engine, can't start so we cannot drive. No oxygen tank, we got dipsy dive. So we got to come together and try to find a way, find a way. No more fight down till we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back. They go come run me down when you see them. Get this song when you're ready. Ready when the iron and the man with the Congo jam. It's a vibe in the center when they jam into the steel pan. Come and join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on what's it. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party in the engine room. We go get another day. Party in the engine room. Ah, we go play a massage. Party in the engine room. Ah, we go play a massage. Party in the engine room. How we go bang. Party in the engine room. So can we say, guys, so party in the engine room. Records, all I do there. Sharp vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Olatunji, of course.
And
Apparently he's in the country. He's going to be performing somewhere.
And we have the man right at the heart of the engine room.
Yes, we
have
do.
Matthew Phillip. Matthew, welcome to the show.
Afternoon, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming. Every Friday or the Friday before Carnival, we're so delighted. You're the director of Carnival. Have you?
Well, you wear a number of hats, don't you?
CEO.
CEO of Carnival, and then there's Carnival Village, and then of course there's your role in Mangrove, and of course you're a drummer as well. So there's a lot of hats.
Yeah. All connected though. There's a connection
there is a
through
connection.
all of it. There's a thread that kind of links it all together.
There's a building at the middle of it all as well.
There's two buildings.
Yeah, of course. I do apologise. I'm south of the Harrow Road.
Yeah.
Matthew, last year it was like we're all getting back together after 2 or 3 years, whatever it is, and there was that kind of manic. We kind of back to business as usual now, aren't we? It's Carnival.
Yes, definitely. I think
everyone knows how to do it.
I don't think we're quite at business as usual because the cost of living crisis is affecting all of us. It's definitely the bands and sound systems are all kind of struggling. You know, it's a struggle every year to make Carnival happen, but I think it's still, everybody's still feeling the pinch. But yeah, we're back and it's really great to be back.
Well, I'd like to come back in a minute to the whole question of how we finance Carnival going forward, but it must be a joy to see everyone coming together. The 5th. Could you just give us the numbers? I watched the video actually this morning, but the numbers of systems and
we've got
bands.
36 sound systems. This year there'll be around 60 mass bands. We've got 14 steel bands, 7 Brazilian bands, hundreds and hundreds of DJs and artists
kids
across
bands.
the 2 weekend. And the bands are children, adults, teenagers. I think that's the beauty of Carnival. It's the best celebration and example of diversity that I've ever come across in the world. This weekend we're going to welcome people from all over the world, people with different economic backgrounds, social backgrounds, religious backgrounds, and everybody's just going to be smiling and enjoying themselves.
No, it's so fantastic to have it back and to be right in the middle of it one more time. This year, we celebrated a couple of weeks ago at Notting Hill Carnival Pioneers, of course, it's 50 years of sound systems.
Well, it's more than that. I'd like to always say, Leslie Palmer, who was the CEO in 1973, did a lot more than, not that bringing sound systems isn't a big thing, and it's an ingredient that makes our carnival unique. But there's two other important things that he did in carnival that year. In that, prior to that, it was fancy dress costume. Mm-hmm. He introduced the first Caribbean-style masquerade band. That was Lawrence Noel and his band in Trimbago Carnival Club, who they're still in carnival, so they're celebrating 50 years on the roads this year. Wow. And then the final thing was he asked street traders to come and sell Caribbean food, etc. Carnival's a multi-sensory event, and I think the food and drink is as important as the music and the coming together of people. So those three ingredients that he added, I would say, is the blueprint of what we now know and love as Carnival.
Absolutely, and we should take a moment to wish Leslie a happy 80th birthday, which I'm pretty sure was yesterday.
Yes, 24th.
Happy birthday, Uncle.
Happy birthday.
Yay, Uncle Leslie Teacher.
It's funny you should say that, Matthew, because to me, the crucial site of Carnival is when I finally get from where I am in Latimer along Blenheim Crescent far enough to just see the smoke rising on the pavement outside All Saints.
From the jerk pans.
Yeah, and you know that you're there at Carnival. It's the smoke almost more than the sound.
Yeah,
and
that's why I
smell.
say Carnival it's multi-sensory. The smell and taste as well as the sounds.
You've done brilliantly since whenever it was that Carnival Village took over Carnival about 8 or 9 years ago.
It was only 6.
Was it
Seems
only
like
6?
Longer.
Wow. You've taken it to Glastonbury. We talked last week and the week before at to some extent about taking it to the Holland Park Opera.
Yeah.
Chelsea Theatre.
It's been to the Chelsea Theatre.
We're going to the National Theatre in October.
Wow.
So we're not stopping breaking down doors. So we've got an event on the 8th of October that will be announced just after Carnival, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to be mixing a large steel band with a traditional band and one of the London Symphony Orchestras.
Wow.
And that's going to be kind of charting Black British music over the last 60 years through the decades.
Wow. It's amazing what you're doing with Carnival, because there was a moment when it was in danger, wasn't it? Because the police were doing their ridiculous fuckery.
But the Carnival's always been in danger ever since it started. It's been in danger.
I think we have to remember that as much as Carnival is a celebration, it's also a protest.
Yeah.
And
it's about freedom to walk the streets, and that's always been an issue.
Exactly.
To use the streets. We have to remember, the rest of the time you can get arrested if there's 3 of you in a ghetto blaster. Carnival allows everybody to use the streets freely, and we all have to be here for it to support it. It's so important. It's one of the largest festivals in the world, in the European world as we know it. And we have to host all those wonderful people that are coming from abroad.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are the highlights for you, Matthew? Do you actually get out to enjoy Carnival now that you're kind of running it?
Sometimes. A lot of the time I'm in a room. I was going to say stuck in a room, but I'm in a room. I want to be there because I want Carnival to run smoothly and be safe. And I think it's important that some of us take on that role. So I spend a lot of my time, on the phone, looking at screens and communicating via radio, etc., with the teams on the ground.
All the very boring but very necessary strategic stuff.
Yeah.
But what about, are you going to be drumming with Mangrove this year?
No, I won't be playing with the band tomorrow. This year's just been a lot busier, but it's good. I think our plans are in a good place, and if you come to the Tabernacle this evening, you'll feel the sense of calm. There's no panic. The plans are in place, and it's just about executing it.
What, you mean the plans to win?
No, I'm talking about plans for Carnival, but with regards to Mangrove, I'll be with the band on All Saints Road listening to that rehearsal. For me, that's one of the jewels in the crown of Carnival.
It really is.
Particularly for us
on
locals.
Friday night.
It really is the best,
Brilliant.
the highlight.
What are Mangrove playing this year?
We're playing Long Live Soca by Voice.
Right.
Who Voice will actually also be performing at Panorama,
That's
special
tomorrow.
appearance tomorrow. So
Yeah. Are there still tickets for Panorama?
there are, but as ever, they're going to sell out quick. So if anyone's interested, I advise them to go onto the website and get their tickets.
When's the absolute latest people can get tickets?
When they sell out.
Yeah.
So
Which could be tonight, basically.
When they're gone.
Yeah.
well, last year there was a few tickets available on Saturday, but by 1 o'clock they sold out. We don't have a box office at the event. It's a ticket-only event. The revenue that we've been generating from Panorama from the past few years has enabled it to grow. So I think the show's been getting better and better every year.
Yep.
We've increased. In 2021 there were 5 bands. 22 we had 6 bands. This year we've got 7. So we're growing because by every penny that's taken from the ticket sales is divided equally amongst the participating bands. So to help them come. So I know some of the bands from last year, the money they got has enabled them to buy new instruments and to get extra support for their efforts this year.
And
I think that's a really, really important message, because often people grumble, I don't want to pay for Panorama, and it's like, but how on earth are steel pans or steel orchestras supposed to make a living? How are they supposed to fund their work?
It's value for money. The ticket's £20, and I've done some calculations. If you were to pay 100 people to rehearse for 8 weeks to put on the show, each band is really, forget the cost of the instruments and their arrangement, just in people's voluntary time, it's over £250,000. And we've got 7 bands. So a show that's kind of got a cost of almost £2 million, if you think about the time and effort that goes into it, to pay £20 for that is nothing.
From the end of the band, it's the same commitment as the Royal Opera House or the Royal Ballet, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's the same number of people.
Yeah.
No.
Council money or
we
grants?
get funding from the GLA, the Royal Borough of Kensington, Chelsea, and Westminster, and all of it is about safety. So 90% of the money we get goes towards stewarding. So there was a feeling 6 years ago that the police were running Carnival; it was overly policed. When we started doing this, there were 300 stewards in Carnival. We've been increasing that. This year, we're going to have 1,700 stewards.
Okay.
20% of those recruited from local
so that's
London
where
communities.
the grants go, not to the bands.
No, I mean
No, I understand.
Each of those bands spends the whole year getting ready.
Yes, I know, but we all do. All the people that want to be, they take that time and their money to get ready, to prepare for those 3 days, and that's what we do. Mm-hmm. So, there's no comparison about whether it be $250,000 or so. It's just the way it is.
I disagree. I have to disagree there, because you got a steel band. The effort that it goes into is, it's gargantuan. You're talking about 100 people spending 60 hours every week for 8 weeks to learn a piece of music.
Yes, no, but
and just moving the pans, just the amount of time
but
spent
also
moving
a steel orchestra is actually an orchestra.
Yeah.
It is, there's
$250,000 to £20 tickets. That's fine, but you also have to make concessions for people who don't have that £20.
There is a concession. They can see the bands for free tonight on All Saints Road. Yeah. The actual show on Saturday, you can rehearse it for the streets. And the steel bands parade the streets for free on the 2 days of Carnival for free.
And also there's special concessions for elders.
And what's more, as you tell us every year, in Trinidad, you pay for Panorama.
Mm-hmm. We've always paid back home.
Seeing as we're talking about money, a couple of times before Carnival, we've talked about the fact that 2 million people get a free day out, and even £1 per person. If somehow there was a mechanism that everyone who turned up
Carnival will be well funded for once.
People could support if they wanted to, but I think the notion of charging for Carnival goes against the reason why it was created in the first place.
No, I mean I agree with that, Matthew. we got to find a way that.
I know, but various things have been tried. Years ago there was the pound in the ground scheme where they set up these things and hoping people would put a pound in the ground. It doesn't happen. People have got and especially now with the cost of living crisis, I think it's important that there's things you can do that doesn't have a financial barrier that differentiates you or us normal working people.
Absolutely, 100%.
From the,
we all agree. I know what you're going to say, and I've just got to say, 100%. This has got to be an event that belongs to the people. The streets belong to them for those days, and that nobody can be charged for that.
Yeah.
And people make that effort to put Carnival on for their own enjoyment and others.
Yeah.
And I think that's really...
Matthew, we thank you for all the incredible hard work you do all year. It's fantastic seeing the Tabernacle, which is... the Tabernacle's back, isn't it, as well?
Yeah,
while we're at it.
definitely. I feel very proud of the Tabernacle. As you know, and you've been around as long as me, grown up in and around
He's
the Tabernacle.
probably been around longer than you.
And I think now it's a space where all parts of the community feel welcome and have a sense of ownership, and I think that's important.
Well, for us, it's the only place to go after doing this show on a Friday night. It's a fantastic...
It's the only place you're not barred from, Piers.
And people out there, it's a brilliant place to seek oasis, isn't it, during the course of Carnival?
What, Liam Gallagher's going to be there?
No. You can get a wristband at a working man's price.
It's like £3.
£3.
Just come in, it helps us with the cleaning. You've got clean toilets in there and a bit of a safe oasis.
A bar that's not 10 deep.
No.
Lovely drinks, lovely food.
Can
Lovely
you
drinks,
buy
lovely
the
food.
wristbands on the days?
Yes.
Yeah, on Sunday and Monday. You can actually
Sunday
tip
and
up at
Monday.
the gate at the end of Tabernacle and buy yourself a wristband.
Yeah.
And also, I think
amazing.
if you've got children and stuff with you, it's a really nice place
Really
to go
good,
when you
yeah.
need a break
Yeah.
from being on the road,
Yeah, and on Sunday night we'll be doing a sound system session, and we'll be running till about 11 o'clock after everyone else has
Oh,
gone.
brilliant.
Oh, brilliant.
If you want to hear a Valve
Brilliant.
sound system, come along to
Yeah.
the Tabernacle.
Yeah.
You're very proud of that Valve system.
Yeah, no, Chris Peckins is coming along. He's going to play some songs.
Yeah.
Good.
It's the joy that it gives people when they hear the sound system on valves, and you're a DJ playing music on vinyl gives a different feeling.
Really lovely, rounded feeling, and we love it.
And I hear a rumour that's only the little system.
That
There's a bigger one down the line.
Yeah. You have to look out for the Mangrove truck this year at Carnival.
Oh, really?
You'll see the bigger one.
Oh, you're joking me.
It's ready, and it will be. There's an exclusive.
But
It'll be running on batteries.
But
No
is it-
way.
Hang on,
Wicked.
will it be available
Wicked.
after Carnival, or is it only going to come out at Carnival? Is
Too
it?
big.
No,
for this
it'll
one.
we'll
we get
struggle
to
to
see- will we
find
get to see it?
places. It's too big to be played at the Tabernacle.
Oh,
so-
really?
I don't know. Maybe at Glastonbury next year.
Hey, lovely, good idea.
Matthew,
Very
thank
good
you for
idea.
coming to see us. I
Thank
know
you.
you've got to rush back to the tab and make sure everything's hunky-dory for the next
Thanks
3
for having
days.
me.
Amazing.
The neighbourhood thanks you. You've done an amazing job.
Yay,
Keep up the
Matthew
good work.
Phillip!
You say, living all over the world, but we must find that unity, get along with everyone.
Yes, you're listening to Portobello Radio, coming live and direct from the Muse Gallery in the middle of the Scars exhibition.
That's number 269 Portobello Road.
Yeah, opposite the Spanish Plaza.
Plaza, Plaza, Plaza.
Has that what we've named it? The Spanish Plaza. It's amazing how names. I didn't realise that Glastonbury is now called Glasto.
Oh.
So there you go. I'm behind the sign.
That's your hashtag.
Glasto.
Yeah.
Glasto.
Yeah. That is your hashtag.
Don't forget, everybody, Carnival starts on Sunday morning at around 6 a.m.
Yeah, man. If you're
Some of us are going to be doing Juve before we get out the area.
True that. If you're listening to this show on Sunday morning, then it's already started to happen.
Actually, I should probably say that it starts...
I think it starts tonight.
Well,
on All Saints Road, man.
Exactly.
Some would say it started when Pioneers was on, but...
Yeah,
the official schedule starts tomorrow night with Panorama. We were just talking to Matthew about it. 7 bands. We're right behind the Mangrove, obviously.
Yes.
Sunday morning, 6 a.m.
We'll be able to go back to the Tabernacle if you want.
Juve up at Sainsbury's Canal Way.
What time is Juve on Sunday?
6 to 9.
6 to 9.
Last year, captain from Boomtown and Will Wiles, my ex-lodger, turned up at my house absolutely bespattered.
Bespattered, what a word. And he was completely
Piers
covered.
just makes them up.
And you know what? We've still got that T-shirt
We've
that's
still
covered
got Will's
in Juve paint.
T-shirt,
Yeah,
which you
man.
can come and see anytime in the Portobello Radio office.
Yes.
Underneath the Westway.
Underneath the Westway.
You can also see the
massive ear outside, which lots of people have been taking photographs of.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
absolutely. We have worked with 24 Hearts. Many of you will know the 24 Hearts butterfly that Sophie made for us some time ago. As part of Sounds of Latimer, we made a big ear. I've been working.
Family's growing.
Yeah, I've been working with Isis, with Ilaria, with Sophie and Wendy, and all the peeps down there at 24 Hearts. And
Amazing.
we finally got it up. It's outside the Muse now.
Looks gorgeous. Gorgeous.
And over the weekend, it'll be outside the...
And of course, your lovely wife, Tanya,
Yeah.
and her gold... what is it? Gold...
gold leaf, I think.
Gold leaf, that's it.
Juve is about.
Juve is the opening of Carnival.
Yes, but in as slaves, do you know why
No,
they had
enslaved people. Yes, basically,
enslaved. Sorry,
Juve is day open. It comes from the French. It's the way of you start it all off to clear out the spirits.
Yes, they roll themselves in mud.
Yeah.
To cleanse this slave, their bodies and themselves.
It's to kind of chase out the spirits, and then you pour oil on yourself.
Yes, but it was the mud rolling. And then the cleansing, but it was the mud rolling that cleared their souls. But also from being enslaved, and then they'd go to their master.
No, the enslavers. They weren't the masters.
Okay, enslavers, and they would beg the money because they hawked their costumes after Carnival for the year, for the money for Carnival, and he would give it to them. Right, and they go and get their costumes out of hawk that stood there for a year and prepare themselves for Carnival. You know, it's just not just a lot of mud being spattered at each other. They should be rolling in mud and cleansing their souls and preparing themselves for Carnival.
But also dressing in a particular way to scare away certain energies.
Yes, and we live in England, of course, so there's a lot of those nasty little energies running around. We need to do this often, and if not once a year.
Most definitely.
Most deaf. We're about in a minute to talk to Scratchless, but we might just have
Ocean 11, and no rude boys are go wheel, 'cause them out of jail. Rude boys cannot feel, 'cause them must get bail. Oh, them a loot, them a shoot, them a wheel. Ashanti town. Them a loot, them a shoot, them a wheel. Ashanti town. Rude by the probation. Ashanti town. Rude by a bomb up the town. Ashanti town. Yes. Oh, 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 oh. Them a loot, them a shoot, them a wear a shanty crown. Them a loot, them a shoot, them a wear a shanty crown. Rude by the probation, shanty crown. Rude by a bomb up the town, shanty crown. Police get taller, shanty crown. Soldier get longer, shanty crown. Rude by a weep and a wear, shanty crown. Rude by a weep and a wear.
Yeah, that of course is Desmond Decker's Shanty Town. Now, we have mentioned on a couple of occasions the fact that Portobello Radio Sound System, Portobello Radio Sound, will be back on the road. It'll be on Powis Gardens.
Oh, yes. You let the cat right out the bag. But yes, indeed, of course.
And we've got a license. We are not, unfortunately, this year selling you cans of Red Stripe.
No, sadly not.
There will be many cans of Red Stripe just round the corner.
Certainly will. We will be selling DBC T-shirts, though, if you fancy one of them, and indeed Portobello Radio T-shirts, if you fancy a T-shirt.
And indeed, Doreen from Pimento, that's who we're there raising money for. Doreen will let you use the loo for either 2 or 3 quid.
Or maybe even a little bit more. Who knows?
Well, cost of living crisis, mate.
You know it, exactly.
Yeah, we had a chat, though, with Craig, who's the partner of one of the artists here at the Muse. And he was saying that he used to sell peas in his gaff for quid each. And then he changed it up, charged 5 quid, which from his point of view worked out much better. You got fewer people, made more money, less mess.
Our Clan Village are doing them for 5 quid.
Are they?
So yeah, I think the 5 quid a pea is going rate at the moment, actually, to be fair, around carnivals. So yeah, it's a lot.
That is something else.
But hang on, that's really unfair because obviously the £5 charge is going to be for women because we don't tend to squat in the road and pee, but men are not going to pay £5.
They're going to. Wife.
Men are just going to whip it out against a tree or a wall. Why would any man pay £5 to pee?
Yeah.
And make any sense?
But if you've got the answer to that, do send us a WhatsApp
this is really unfair to women, I think. Hello.
On 07822
This is a gender bias thing. Why do we have to pay £5 to pee?
Hold on. We are one of the things about the Portobello Radio Sounds. We have some of your favourite DJs. Errol was just in having a chat. Nick Manasseh, the legend, is playing. DJ PJ. We've got Neville playing.
Yeah, man. Neville Hyde, DJ Freeds. We've got Piers and Greg. Yay! DJ for Blue. Pandiva. Yeah. I mean, wow, so much going on our sound system. Our little sound.
Absolutely. And we have fantastic toasters. One of whom is Raz Mackers, who'll be back, but another of whom is sitting here. You heard him on the radio 2 weeks ago.
Fresh from J.A.
It is Scratchulous. Welcome to the show, Scratch.
Well, what can I say? I'm so happy to be back in London. It's very vibrant here.
Yeah, and you
like the vibrancy.
You managed to find a Kangol pith helmet.
Nice. Very, very nice indeed. We like it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
And I want to take this opportunity to big up Greg, Piers, and Isis.
Yeah, man.
Give thanks, brother. Give thanks.
It's so beautiful to hear your voice when I was in Jamaica. It just gave me enough inspiration, and the whole of the musical industry was listening as well, and and I will make sure that you lot get to speak to all of them.
Yes. Brilliant.
Yes. No, absolutely. Brilliant. Well, last week we called out for someone from British Airways to give me a free ticket to Trinidad because it was felt that I needed to know even more about Campbell. So this week we're calling out anyone from British Airways. This week we want a ticket for Piers to go to
hang on. I didn't agree with that. I think I would need the ticket first as a Caribbean person who's not been to Jamaica. You can go after me to Jamaica.
You never go to Jamaica yet?
No. And I'm a Trini, born and bred, so I need to go first.
Come. You can't. The full team have to come.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, posse.
And guess what? She would help you lot get through all the doors. You understand what I'm saying to you? All the doors.
No, I think because you guys have to stay here and hang on to the radio station, I should go. And I'll report back. It'll be
say you will, say you won't. Some
you
people
will,
think about it and they don't.
So you've been in Jamaica for a little while, Scratch?
Yeah, about 6 months anyway.
Yeah.
You lucky thing.
Not lucky. Nothing lucky about it. Lucky for people that's gone on holiday. I never done one holiday. My holiday was just in my work. I get to go to the sea because I'm performing on the beach.
Right.
That's how I got to see the beach. Do you understand? Yes.
Busman's holiday, I think they call that or something.
Where were you staying while you were?
Well, I was in Kingston, Jamaica. I was in UN then. I was up in Augustown by Sizzler. I was all over the place, really.
Yeah. Big shout out to Sizzler.
Oh, you mean big up Sizzler, Kalonji, the whole family.
There's only one Sizzler.
Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to get hold of
Smith
Khaled who
and
says
Bobby Digital, Caliber, the whole family, you know. Big up Steve, one of them back in London.
Yeah, we worked with Steve just
the other day. And big up the whole London family.
We worked with Steve just the other day, actually, at the Notting Hill Carnival Pioneers.
Excellent, beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful.
You were missed. You were sadly missed.
Blessed.
Scratch, where are you going to be over Carnival this year?
Well, as I've just got back in here, I'm just trying to plug myself in.
You're obviously going to be down at Portobello.
Of course, I'm coming
Radio.
to Portobello Road. That's where I'm going to be camping out. Actually, I bring my camp bed and everything.
Yeah.
But you're going to be gallivanting a bit. You're going to be everywhere.
Brilliant.
You know, Carnival. You just stroll and take in the atmosphere and the music, right? Usually till Tuesday morning. That's what I do.
I think we need to play your most recent track. Tell us about every.
What's the name of it?
Tell us. Well,
as you know, nearly 3/4 of the world now smokes herbs, and it's I can name the countries: Toronto, Brazil, Thailand, New York, most of America.
Portugal.
Jamaica's legal, everything. So when I went to Jamaica, the first song when I landed, this is what happened. I landed there after a 15-hour flight. I went just as they eased up the COVID restrictions. So I had a round trip kind of flight to get to Jamaica, 19 hours. So when I got there, I was kind of tired. But when my cousin picked me up, he said, you know what, Bonnie Whaley has a tribute tonight. I said, bring my suitcase is still in the boot. I said, bring me there now. So when I got there, people saw me. And I didn't really go there to perform or nothing. But they insisted. I said, I'm tired. I'll just come off the plane. I said, Scotty, get on the stage. So that was the first song that came into my head. Every spliff need a lighter, and every cloud will be brighter.
We can't argue with that, though.
Now big up Fred Lux, legendary black style and Fred Lux. And I need to point out something to the listeners. Every single rhythm, every single sound you heard is live, played by a live, legendary musician.
Yeah, we're gonna set the table already. I'm gonna send a wedding cake on it. Whistler, light on them thing there. Hey, top strikers from London, Nola, California, Toronto, what was that? Well, every spliff need a lighter. Yes, and every cloud will be brighter. Well, every spliff need a lighter. And every grain will be brighter. Well, every day we smoke a spliff just to dilute with temper. Some boy
hey, big up the whole of Jamaica, Irie FM. Every spliff need a lighter.
The membership no longer a member. Sometimes we feel pain, but the ganja make we stronger. And we them can't stop, my friend. Now we them can't tame. We have done it and seen it, and we'll do it again. On the avenue, on the main, on the street, on the lane.
That's a life.
Ganja getting so much blame. That's why every spliff need a lighter. Yes, sir. And every cloud will be brighter. Well, every spliff need a lighter. And every grain will be brighter.
We're talking to the world. We're talking to the world. Herb is the healing of the nation.
The healing of the nation.
Give us a sweet meditation.
It's a part of recreation.
I'm tired of the folly. We're smoking up the highway collie.
Well, every spliff need a lighter.
Yes,
and every cloud will be brighter. Well, every spliff need a lighter. And every grain will be brighter. These are the times to put a smile on your face.
These are the times meditation's in the right place.
These are the times herb myself in glass case.
These are the times never knew I'd see these days.
Now is the time to
to smoke the back, push wedding cake. Right round the world, Kingston, Jamaica.
I did the right thing. Don't make no mistake. Pusher will give me headache.
Well, every spliff need a lighter.
Yes,
and every cloud will be brighter. Well, every spliff need a lighter. And every brain will be brighter.
Pusher will give me headache. Pusher will give me headache. Pusher will give me headache.
Well, every day we smoke a spliff just to dilute with temper. From New York, London, California, Jamaica, them lose their membership, no longer a member. Sometimes we feel pain, but the ganja make me stronger.
Yes,
we them
right.
can't stop me burn, now we them can't take. We have done it and seen it and we'll do it again. Pon the out, no pon the main, pon the street, pon the lane. Why the ganja getting so much blame? Well, every spliff need a lighter. And every cloud will be brighter. Well, every spliff need a lighter. And every brain will be brighter.
Yes, you're listening to Portobello Radio, coming live and direct from the Muse Gallery right here on Portobello Road. We're sitting in the midst. We're sitting in the midst of the Scars exhibition.
Yeah, man.
That is on for one day only, Saturday, because obviously on Sunday Carnival starts. You can't really be having art shows, can you, on the Portobello during Carnival?
It's going to be great fun. We're really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
There's obviously loads going on during Carnival. We advise you at least to pass by Powis Gardens to see the Portobello Radio Sound in full operation.
Wear your t-shirt and give us a wave.
Give us a wave. We're just round the corner from the Tabernacle, like we just said. If you need respite, the Tabernacle wristbands at £3 are an unbelievable bargain.
Yeah.
Because you do get to retreat from the mayhem.
And it's actually quite strategically placed.
Beautifully.
Right.
It really is. You can go all around, you can take a break in the tab,
Yeah,
refresh yourself, and then get back on the road.
They've got first aid in there in case you need it for emergencies. They've got a bar in there for refreshment.
Toilets, food.
Changing rooms for babies.
And they cook a whole selection of food, including vegan food outside as well.
So it's a good place to hang around. You've got Gazzy's Rockin' Blues on the doorstep there as well as us. And indeed we've got Lynette and the old what's the name of her lovely sound system? Is
New Generation.
This year generation.
Oh yeah. And then of course you can always, if you're feeling brave, walk round the corner to Rampage.
Yes, on the other side of the food.
If you're feeling brave.
Yeah. You've got to be feeling brave for Rampage. Definitely. Rampage.
Remember though that Portobello Radio, as most of the sound systems do, will be respecting the 72 seconds of silence
Absolutely.
at 3 p.m.
That's a really good point that you've raised. We have not forgotten about Grenfell. At least 72 people in our community will not be forgotten. So 3 p.m. the 72 seconds
And
both days will be happening.
A big shout out to Toby and Alex Mango.
Hundreds other that are not listed on that piece
No,
of paper.
we're not having that particular conspiracy on this radio station.
Whoa! Okay,
What?
we're maybe not talking about it today, but I think we need to. We haven't had a
Big up.
consensus on that one.
Big up to to Toby and to Alex Mango, who are going around this evening, dropping the Grenfell banners and dropping the Grenfell Respect the Silence. Big up to Sophie Lodge, who's done an amazing job, as well as the Mangrove tomorrow. We really urge you to catch the KCS, Kensington Chelsea Schools Band.
But also,
coming out
just
the
make sure if you're walking down Ladbroke Grove at any point, look at North Kensington Library, because there's a massive Love the Library that's being put up today.
Wonderful. Brilliant.
As I was saying, Isis, we urge you to catch the Kensington Chelsea Schools Band, because they have an amazing thing that Sophie has created of little birds, and they've got 45 little birds, a road flock, nodding their way around the roads.
And that will be on Sunday, of course, Children's Day.
Yeah, wicked, absolutely wicked. It's going to be great fun.
Are we ready for the second track? Scratch this. I'm dying to hear it, you guys.
Yeah, I have got the second track if you wanted it. If you genuinely wanted the second track. Do we have another bit of Scratchless or what? Go on then, Greg. Go on then. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Because of course, Scratchless is fresh back from JA, so fantastic having him in the house for the first time in quite some months. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Seems like I was here yesterday.
Yeah, you know that. So, let me do that.
Which one? Right on everything there.
This one?
Hey, top strikers from London, New York, California, Toronto, what we say?
You will hear.
Now you know the world feels set up, the classroom. Top strikers, top students, achieve what you will. Scratchless, say you will, say you won't. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top strikers don't. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top students don't. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top strikers don't. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top students. Life is political, but we are spiritual. No preservatives, addictives, just natural. We know the cynics will be cynical, and the skeptics will be skeptical, and the critics will be critical. But this is real rhymes for real minds in real times on the front lines. Children with real tears and real fears need real tears. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top strikers don't. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top students don't. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top strikers don't. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top students don't. This is for the colleges, universities, the students, the lecturers, the teachers who teach tolerance. We show confidence in front of ignorance. We set precedents. We seek excellence with intelligence and diligence. This one is for the children on the sidewalks, the pavements. Oh yes, the prisoners in confinement, the prime ministers and the presidents. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top strikers don't. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top students don't. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top strikers don't. Say you will, say you won't. We can't think about it. Top students don't.
The most incredible Scratchless there. Say You Will, Say You Won't. Another one off his newly released EP, mixed down by Bobby Digital Studios, man. It's wicked, absolutely wicked. It's a great tune, and can you catch it on all digital platforms?
All digital platforms.
Yeah, there you
it
go.
will be on vinyl very soon too.
Yay, brilliant. I want a copy on
You'll
vinyl,
get a copy
please.
of your
Yeah,
vinyl, yes.
you know that. Total vinylist me. So love it, absolutely love it. We're coming to the end of the show, so a quick rundown of what's going on over the course of this wonderful, magnificent weekend. Oh my goodness, what a weekend we've got ahead of us, indeed. This show will repeat again on Saturday at midday and on Sunday at 8 a.m. It's going to be good fun listening back, I tell you, because it's mental. It's been so crazy in here today. Saturday Sessions kicks us off with Georgie and her Lupita's Hour after this show at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 3 o'clock in the afternoon could be, I don't know, I'm not too sure exactly what's happening at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe Piers has an update on that.
We don't know what's on tomorrow, but it'll be loads of old fabulous carnival sets from the like of Noel Watson, Minna, Honey, all sorts of people.
Yeah, man. Debbie Galt from the Foreign Office. No, not Debbie Galt. In fact, we have got Prince Yabba Dabba from the Foreign Office playing a wonderful set. We, as you've already pointed out, might have a bit of Dirt by Dub from Edie Ashley, and indeed Mono Loco Mixtape might play a little set prior to their live set on Monday afternoon. They're going to be playing. and then Disco 45 potentially. So that's the Saturday lineup. Sunday kicks off at 8 a.m. again with this show.
10.
10. Oh, Clash Fans Against the Right at 10.
Sorry.
8 o'clock at
right.
us. Clash Fans Against the Right at 10 o'clock. And Bright Side of the Road, live from the Irish Cultural Centre, on at midday. It's going to be spectacular, absolutely spectacular. Then, of course, we go live. We come across live to the most incredible Portobello radio sound system. Live from Carnival. So catch up with us on Sunday all day long, for as long as we can broadcast for, and indeed on Monday the same thing happens all over again. So if you guys aren't able to make it into Carnival land, then just tune into Portobello Radio for your biggest flavours, your hottest flavours from Carnival this year. It's going to be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I hope you guys caught us in the Evening Standard on Wednesday this week. There was a little tiny article.
Piers very proudly showed us the fact that Portobello Radio is the radio station to be tuned in.
Yeah, man. Over Carnival.
We are the
Wicked.
zeitgeist of the nation. The number one radio station.
Wicked. You've been practicing that one.
No, I just
Very good, very good, very good.
Sometimes we can do these things off the cuff.
Are you going to be doing your Authority Radio thing on Saturday or not?
No, but I want to shout out Trinidad and Tobago Independence, 31st of this month.
Okay, cool.
We got independence the same year as Jamaica. They got it on the 3rd. We got it on the 31st. We are celebrating big time down at Morley College, 2 till 8. Free event. Come down and get your food, your drink. Come and see what's going on. We're going to have calypsonians, DJs with soca music. And then after the event, after 8, we will be having a little after party up at Portobello Shack that's run by our lovely Rosita.
Brilliant.
So it's an all-night ting.
Portobello Shack is on the Portobello Road just underneath the flyover. So
Thank you
come
so
and
much
check us
for
out
pointing
there.
that out.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
TNT Independence 2023.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, we're heading into the world of the Portobello Film Festival the
as
coming
sure
week.
as night follows day, the Portobello Film Festival now follows the Carnival, and it starts on Thursday. Unfortunately, the Thursday night launch party at the Gate Cinema is sold out. I think it's called the Picture House now, but you know what I mean, that one on Notting Hill.
Brilliant.
So you will be able to go to the Trinidad and Tobago Independence Day launch. From Friday, the Muse will become the home of the Portobello Film Festival.
Brilliant. Absolutely
and that
brilliant.
will slightly impact on the show that we do. Any shows from the Muse will be done at 3:45.
Brilliant.
But the film festival goes on for 2 weeks, till Sunday the 17th of September, which finishes again at the Gate with the award ceremony. It has a number of really special nights, and we'll just point out the local shows. The 6th of September here at the Muse will be local and UK movies. Friday the 15th of September will be UK and local movies, and also Saturday 9th of September they're showing a film I tried to see in Cornwall, which I couldn't get into because it was sold out. That is Zena's Spirit of Place. You've been listening to Portobello Radio Show. This is the pre-Carnival special. We'd like to thank everyone who's been on the show today. Scratchulous, who's just leaving.
Yay,
We'd like to thank Ricky from Bass. We'd like to thank Phil from the Playground. Matthew from the Carnival.
Yeah, man.
Get ready to roll.
It's going to be wicked. Absolutely superb. You guys take care. Have a wonderful weekend. And happy Carnival. Keep it real. Keep the love in the air.
PortobelloRadio.com. If you didn't get a chance.
Vai malandra, eita louca, tô brincando com bumbum.
Goodbye, YouTube.
Vai malandra, eita louca, tô brincando com bumbum.
Tá pedindo, se prepara, vou dançar, presta atenção. Cê aguenta, se eu te olhar, descer, quicar até o chão.
Fala brincando. Desce, rebola gostoso, empina me olhando, eu te pego de jeito. Se eu começar embrasando contigo, é taca, 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 taca.
Isso rebola gostoso, empina te olhando, te pego de jeito. Se começar embrasando contigo, é. Não vou mais parar, cê vai aguentar. Não vou
show me some. Brazilian baby, you know I want you. Booty big, sit a glass on me. See my zipper, put that ass on it. Hypnotized by the way you shake it. I can't lie, I'm trying to see you naked. Anita, baby, I'm trying to spank it. I can give it to you, can you take it?
Já tá louca, bebendo, tão solto, envolvendo, eu tô vendo. Não para, não. Vai malandra, eita louca, tô brincando com bumbum.
Bem malandra, eu tô louca, tô brincando com bumbum.
Vai malandra, turn around and put it down on me, baby.
Vai malandra,
eita louca,
tô brincando com bumbum.
Desce, rebola gostoso, empina me olhando, eu te pego de jeito. Se eu começar embrasando contigo é taca, 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 taca.
Isso rebola gostoso, empino te olhando, te pego de jeito. Se começar embrasando contigo é. Não vou mais parar. Cê vai aguentar. Não vou mais parar. Cê vai aguentar.
Yeah. Throw it back on me and Zach. Make it clap, yeah, I'm into that. Pulling tracks, yeah, I'm into that. From the back, yeah, I'm into that. Big dog to the kitty cat. Young boss where the millies at. In favela, where it's Liddy at. And the whole Brazilian
Já
feeling
tá
that.
louca, bebendo, tão solto, envolvendo, eu tô vendo.